Don't declare personal pronouns. It makes you sound stupid and self-obsessed. I don't ask you to cater to my weirdnesses and personal eccentricities. Don't try to impose that on me or on anyone else. That's common courtesy 101. I mean, good heavens, it's difficult enough keeping proper track of names and faces, let alone catering to your demand that I twist my language all around for you. So no, I won't do it. And 99.9% of all people you meet outside your friend group are all thinking exactly the same as I am, regardless of whether they tell you that. This is Dr. Avenir. Don't declare personal pronouns. They make you sound stupid and self-obsessed. We don't have time to worry about your tender feelings. People have more important things to worry about than whether or not you're going to get all upset because someone possibly, by mistake, used the wrong word. Most importantly, I don't ask you, whoever you are, to cater to my personal whims and off-the-wall eccentricities. So don't you impose your weirdnesses on me or on other people. This is all common courtesy 101. This is how you should have been raised as a young person, since you should have carried into young adulthood and then into adulthood proper. Regardless of what I think of transgenderism itself, I'm personally not going to cater to this whole pronouns nonsense. And to be brutally frank, I encourage others not to as well. Just say no, politely and firmly. Doesn't have to be cruel, politely and firmly, but no. And I'm never going to torture the English language by pretending that they refers to one person. Interestingly, it used to be okay to do that when you were referring to someone whose identity was unknown, or you were possibly referring to a position and the person who fulfilled that position. So for instance, you might say, I was thinking about the librarian the other day, and they did something or other. It used to be a casual little shorthand way to avoid having to say he or she, him or her, that kind of thing. Not anymore, though. The whole pronouns thing has blown that out of the water. So the way to restore sanity to language is not to use insanity in language. So no, I'm not going to be trying to keep track of people's personal pronouns. Good heavens, it's hard enough for me to keep track of people's names and keep them associated with the proper faces. Forget having to keep track of personal pronouns now. No way, not going to do it. And do keep in mind, when you, as an obvious man or an obvious woman, come up to me and say, these are my pronouns, the first thing I'm going to think in my mind is, you're an idiot. And I'm not alone in this. I'm not going to think only that. I'm also going to think that you have way too much time on your hands and probably should go out and get some marketable skills so that you can find a job that will properly remunerate you for doing work that actually helps society, rather than gazing at your navel all day and trying to decide by what pronouns you should be referred to. You should also understand that when you try to tell me that I need to refer to you using a set of custom pronouns, I'm also going to realize that I probably don't need to take anything else you say seriously either. After all, you've spent a good chunk of your time sitting there thinking about pronouns, really, rather than thinking about what you need to do to get your life in order, to get a good job, to get a good education, to become a better person, to become a better family member, to become a better husband, wife, spouse, whatever, you name it, brother, sister. No, instead of those productive endeavors, you've been spending your time, or considerable amounts of your time, gazing at your own navel and worrying about what pronouns we need to use. Here's the other thing you need to know. I'm not the only person who thinks this way. 99.9% of all people you encounter will think that way. And I'm not talking about your friend group, your circle of friends. These are people you have gathered around you who think similarly to you. But in the rest of the world, in the world of employers and employees, in the world of colleagues and people such as that, people with whom you need to have substantive interactions, 99.9% of all of them are thinking the exact same thing I'm thinking when you announce the silliness that you have decided that you have the right to be referred to by your personal pronouns. So do yourself and everyone else a favor and just abandon the notion that somehow you're special and that somehow you get to twist language and get others to twist language to cater to your whims and to cater to your tender sensitivities. And then go out and learn some useful skills that'll get you a good job and give you a reasonable chance for a good future in life. Don't get me wrong, if you do decide to declare personal pronouns or some silliness like that, we're not going to dislike you. Disliking takes energy we're not willing to waste on someone who plainly is going to be a waste of time in our lives. But neither are we going to expend the energy to like you. Probably the most we're going to be able to muster up for you is pity. So as I said before, do yourself and everyone else a favor and abandon the whole pronouns hogwash. It's a big fad anyway. It's going to go away fairly soon, and you'll have wasted how many years of your life obsessing over this kind of silliness? Don't get me wrong. I'm telling you all this because I do care about you and those like you. I want you to live a long, healthy, happy life filled with prosperity, filled with love, life, laughter, happiness, joy, fulfillment, excitement, fascination, reward. I want you to have all of those things in great, great abundance. One of the first things that you can do to give yourself a reasonable chance of making that happen is to get rid of the pronouns hogwash. That'll be a great first step on your way to greater maturity and a far better chance at leading a much, much happier life. I wish you all the best, I truly do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so that you get notified whenever we put out new content. We are going for 5 days per week, sometimes 6. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Next time.